confronted Drago, who was behind the wheel of an SUV. Rodriguez was run over and killed. Drago claims it was an accident and that she feared for her safety when she pressed the gas of her vehicle. Drago's first trial ended in a conviction, but that conviction was thrown out because of misconduct by prosecutors. The Suffolk County DA says his office is prepared to retry the case. Rodriguez was also known for meeting with then-President Trump in 2018 to speak about gang violence here on Long Island. Sophia Hall, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in Suffolk County, Long Island.
A migrant shelter near Penn Station's been shut down after the fire department ruled it a fire hazard. Yesterday, the administration had answered questions from City Council on how the city's paying for the crisis and could there be a better way.
Finance Committee Chair Justin Brandon was having a hard time getting answers as to how migrant costs add up. The city says daily costs are $383. Brandon looking at $394.
You can tell $394. $50 goes to this, $120 goes to that.
Part of the problem that they're trying to articulate is it's because it's a system, right? And so you have different folks that are receiving different sort of services within that system.
Answering him, OEM's Zach Iskol explaining that expenses are varied for different needs. The council also heard that Venezuelan migrants eligible for protected status are being processed, but as yet, none have been approved for work. Juliet Papa, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Well, 4 teens were arrested after breaking into the control booth of a moving Ford train Saturday evening in the Bronx. Police say the 4 boys somehow got into the booth in the back of the train. The teens never had the ability to control the train from that back booth. MTA says the train operator reported and made the call to police. The boys were arrested on the train. They face reckless endangerment, tampering, and criminal trespass charges. It's been 5 days since 13-year-old Kavion Godfrey went missing near the water off East River Park. His mother spoke to reporters last night.
It's been a roller coaster, to say the least. I want him to be safe. I want to find him.
He had called his mom Friday to ask if he could play soccer at the park. The next thing, she got a call from his coach saying he was missing. Well, Luana Badger Godfrey is not giving up that search.
I will do whatever it takes. I will stay here for as long as it takes. I will be here.
Police search and rescue are back at it again today. Winds News Time 8:50, back to the roads in 60.
Hey everyone, gather around. It's time for corny jokes about passing the torch.
The team at Kirian's Welding was fused together solid.
Thanks for all the late nights and early shifts.
But double retirements mean the crew must bond with some certified new hires.
You've both gone the extra millimeter.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppable in wash baby.
Winds News Time 8:51 as we continue to get you out the door and on the roads. What do you see, Russ Meyer?
Well, been watching the driving the FDR southbound side. It's really rough this morning. Coming from around 145th on the Harlem River Drive all the way down to 63rd. The FDR looks like we've got a stalled vehicle. We had one earlier, a little south there by 53rd. This one is fresh and it's causing a fresh delay. You can head down 2nd Avenue, just going downtown, West Side Highway, Henry Hudson Parkway. Looking all right for you. Now we're looking at the drive from New Jersey into New York, and here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The George Washington Bridge is going to be about 40-45 minutes for the upper deck, about 25-30 for the lower level. There's a crash being cleared on the eastbound cross Bronx, so over by Jerome Avenue, hampering your trip. Also, over at the Lincoln Tunnel, well, it's going to clock in at about 40 minutes, about the same for the Holland Tunnel. Been rough coming in from Pulaski Scout. That's back up to the Hackensack River Bridge. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big 3. Nothing major to report for the LIE. Traffic on the northern state and the southern state doing all right as well. Also, looking at the drive in New Jersey. Some earlier delays easing out on the westbound side of 280 over by exit 7, that following an earlier accident. That is clear, but the delays persist for a bit longer. I'm Russ Fire. Next report, 901. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Attention patients who have been exposed to Dr. Robert Haddon. The Adult Survivors Act expires on November 23rd. If you've experienced an inappropriate encounter, call 212-233-3600 or visit atdlaw.com to file a claim. Attorney advertising.
Let's get a check of the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Meteorologist Matt Benz. Easy week, easy forecast, huh?
Yeah, can't get used to this after a while, but I know we're heading towards winter and things will get more complicated before we know it. But at least today, tomorrow, through the weekend, at least the first part of the weekend looking pretty good. For the rest of today, sunshine, some clouds. We're starting to break into that sun once again, and it looks like mostly sunny here from here on out. And trending milder for this afternoon, high 64 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, low 52. Here in the city, 40s in many suburbs. Tomorrow, pleasantly warm, sunshine, a few clouds, high 70. Say hello to September-like weather for Thursday and Friday. Sunshine, patchy clouds, we're up to 77 on Thursday. The record high is 78. For Friday, similar story, sun and clouds, high can of 77. Currently, it is 50 degrees in Central Park with relative humidity at 76%. The current temperature is 50, heading up to 64 this afternoon in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Matt Benz on New York Weather Station. Down winds on 92.3 FM.
All righty, keep that sunshine and high temperatures coming. Wins news time, 8:54. We'll check sports, and, well, we've got one half of the World Series all set up, Mark Renee.
Yes, Scott, the American League pennant was decided last night in Houston.
Back is Brantley at the wall. He's looking up, and that ball is history. A 2-home run game for Adolis Garcia. That was a moonshot. 15 RBIs in this series for Adolis. It's 11-3 Texas.
On the way to an 11-4 Game 7 rout of the defending champion Astros, and the Rangers will host Game 1 of the Fall Classic Friday against the Phillies or the Diamondbacks. Arizona forcing one last game in the National League with a 5-1 win over Rob Thompson's team.
I think you just got to come in here like it's any other day and be loose and relax and go play your game.
Townsend will start Ranger Suarez tonight against Brandon Pfaadt. Mark Renee, 1010 Win Sports on 92.3 FM.
All right, Halloween is next week. I have all kinds of pumped up, but not so much in Maplewood. It's one of the school districts across the country who are suspending Halloween. Can you suspend Halloween?
In the past, I have had children who have shared with me how sad they were because they are not allowed to participate in Halloween.
The principal of this elementary school in New Jersey says in one recent year, up to 90 kids were unable to participate in Halloween. So the school did away with it. And now the entire district is moving away from the spooky holiday, opting to hold more inclusive fall festivals instead. Schools in Massachusetts and Michigan have also moved away from Halloween celebrations. But earlier this month, a district in Washington State reversed the decision to cancel its Halloween events after an outcry from parents.
Correspondent Rhiannon Howard.
Secure your seats for the 2024 season with a Mets membership, which gets you the best seats for the biggest games and amazing moments at Citi Field. Visit Mets.com/membership for more information. Hey, Totally Lane More has all your Halloween favorites at the totally lowest prices. Find what you love and love what you find. Only at Totally Lane More.
Drink responsibly, B21. I feel like everything is clouded by doubt. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7. And we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Bloomberg Money Watch now. Let's check in with Steve Potus. Now, Scott, it's still losing mobile phone customers, but Verizon is doing better with home internet and business phone customers. And that helped the company beat quarterly earnings forecasts as it raises its guidance for the year. Now, in the latest quarter, Verizon added almost 400,000 wireless home internet subscribers. It's already changed its website to Bed Bath & Beyond, and now Overstock is changing the company name to Beyond Incorporated. The change will take effect on November 6th, when the company will also move its stock listing from the Nasdaq Global Market to the New York Stock Exchange and change its ticker symbol from OSTK to BYON.
Now, stock futures are headed higher so far this morning after a mixed close for Wall Street yesterday. S&P futures in the plus column by 24 points. Nasdaq adding 86. Dow futures are higher now, 160. Bloomberg Money Watch, 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Steve Otis for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
23 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe 4x4s.
John Montone, Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has to make way for the 2024s, and we are ready to see my favorite vehicles on the lot and in the driveways of happy Ramsey customers.
How could anyone not be thrilled with Ramsey's amazing offerings during Jeep Adventure Days?
Lease a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe 4x4 for only $459 per month for 24 months and just $48.99 total due at signing with tax, title, and registration.
The Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe 4x4 is known for its planet-friendly power while still delivering impressive performance on Earth's toughest terrain.
The terrain may be tough, but the experience is smooth at Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Home of exceptional people, exceptional deals.
Injury cases. My compassion for clients embodies my passion. I am Mikhail Yakov, personal injury attorney. Have you been in a car accident, hurt on the job, a slip, trip, or fall accident, maybe a medical malpractice situation? The attorneys at my firm, Mikhail Yakov Associates, understand personal injury law. Take action. Call me 718-333-0812. The response from your case is how I keep my practice open. I know each of my clients by name and have the pulse of each case. Take action. Call me 718-333-0812. I am Mikhail Yadgarov, personal injury attorney. I deliver honesty while evaluating your personal injury case, which turns into trust, and I deliver clear communication, which equals high rewards. Take action. Call me 718-333-0812.
WINS, WINS-FM in HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
AccuWeather says we got mostly sunny skies becoming milder this afternoon, high 64 degrees. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Sharon Barnes Waters, our service aide. Zach Newman, our writer. Justin Schrager at the editor's desk. I'm Scott Stanford.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning, 50 degrees. It is 9 o'clock on this Tuesday, October 24th. I'm Susan Richard, and here is what's happening. Could be some drama at the Trump trial in Lower Manhattan today. We'll tell you why. A third convoy of 8 enters Gaza, but the World Health Organization says 2/3 of health facilities in the Gaza Strip have ceased operating. A dozen people injured in a house fire in East New York. Republicans to try again today to elect a House Speaker. And a ceremony later this morning in Times Square to honor first responders. In sports, Texas Rangers are going to the World Series. NLCS, the Diamondbacks and Phillies played their deciding game tonight. Monday Night Football, Vikings beat the 49ers. AccuWeather sunny today, the high 64. Winds news time 9:01. Traffic and transit on the ones with Russ Meyer.
We're looking at the east side of Manhattan, and Susan, it's really going to be a tough go from pretty much 135th all the way down towards around 63rd Street. We have word of a minor incident there taking out a lane, but it's making for some mighty major delays. You can try 2nd Avenue if you wanted to scoot downtown by way of Henry Hudson Parkway and West Side Highway. You'll actually be in pretty good shape. Also, looking at the drive on 280, we had a vehicle fire over by exit 6. It is still going to be a mess pretty much all the way back towards the Garden State Parkway as a result, but the delays from that are thinning out a bit. Also, got a report of a crash on the westbound side of Route 21 in Clifton. We have delays back to Ridge Road in Rutherford. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. It's about 45 minutes in now at the George Washington Bridge. The GWB is also going to be about 45 minutes. It's back up onto the New Jersey Turnpike, and also about 250 for the Pulaski Skyway approach over to the Holland Tunnel. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big 3. Really nothing to note for the LIE traffic on the northern state and southern state doing all right. I'm Russ Meyer, next port 911. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
experience the good feet feeling for yourself.
The man who once said he would take a bullet for Donald Trump now poised to testify against him at the Trump civil fraud trial in Lower Manhattan. And that could mean a face-to-face between the former president and his former fixer, Michael Cohen.
At the very least, this should be quite a lengthy stare-down. We'll see what words will be exchanged between Donald Trump and Michael Cohen. This indeed will be the first time in 5 years they're going to be in the same room together. Now here's part of Cohen's deposition about how he believes the Trump organization values their property.
The goal was to use each of the assets and increase its value in order to get to the end result number.
The Attorney General Ted James saying it was Cohen's testimony before Congress back in 2019 that led to the lawsuit being filed in New York. There's the real drama will take place when the two men are face to face. One Shop 1010 wins at 92.3 FM. Outside court here in Lower Manhattan.
New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez was in federal court Monday where he entered a not guilty plea in the second indictment in his federal bribery case that accuses him of conspiring to act as an agent of the Egyptian government when he chaired the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Menendez says he is going to fight this. He's already issued a statement saying he's been loyal to only one country, the United States of America. But federal prosecutors say he was willing to take steps that helped Egypt in exchange for bribe payments that took the form of gold bars, cold hard cash, and a luxury car for his wife.
As correspondent Aaron Katursky, the trial is tentatively scheduled to begin in May. A third convoy of trucks has delivered water, food, and medicine to Gaza, but the supplies are said to amount to only 1% of the daily need. The World Health Organization says nearly 2/3 of Gaza's health facilities have ceased to function. Israel insists that Hamas has stockpiles of fuel but won't release it for civilian use. More information on hostages released by Hamas.
Yuri Cooper, age 79, and Yocheved Lifshitz, 85, arrived at the border between Gaza and Egypt, finally free after more than 2 weeks in the hands of Hamas. Lifshitz eased out of a Red Cross van, reaching back for that embrace and kiss of a Red Cross official. Both taken away in ambulances, receiving care at the Rockville border crossing with Egypt before arriving back in Israel. More than 220 families still waiting for word on their loved ones.
Correspondent Matt Gutman, the husbands of the two women are still being held captive. In fact, we heard from Sharon Lifshitz, the daughter of one of the women freed.
My mom and my dad were separated at the very beginning, and so we do not know from my mom's story what happened to my dad.
As Israel stepped up its airstrikes on Gaza, a flurry of diplomacy.
The president has made clear that getting these hostages out is his top priority. And the president is also working to try and get more humanitarian aid into Gaza and more publicly. The White House insists they are not going to dictate Israel's military response. Behind closed doors, we have learned that they are urging caution, pressing Israel to delay its ground invasion, hoping to buy time to get more hostages out and more aid in.
Mary Bruce, among the high-level visits to Israel, French President Emmanuel Macron, who pledged solidarity with Israel and is concerned that the conflict could widen.
Obviously, I warned against any escalation, and I want Hezbollah and some other regimes not to be part of what's happening.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
There is a battle here between the axis of evil led by Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, their minions, who are fighting to bring back the Middle East, the world, to the early Middle Ages without kind of barbarism.
ABC analyst, former State Department official Steve Ganyard with his take on this.
This is what's so dangerous here is that Iran is playing a very delicate game with their proxies, and it's going to be very easy for them to step over the line if they're not careful. Because right now, between the Houthis and between Hamas, everyone knows who's calling the shots, and it's being done in Tehran. And if there's any direct link with Tehran, then it's going to be very difficult for either the U.S. or Israel not to react with direct attack on Iran.
As the Israeli airstrikes continued, the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza said at least 700 people were killed in the past 24 hours. That could not be immediately verified. 50 degrees, we have clear skies, the humidity 77%, the winds are calm, 50 going up to a really nice sunny 64 in Central Park. Twins News Time 9:07, a dozen people hurt in a house fire in East New York that broke out at around 6:30 yesterday evening on the first floor of 683 Sheffield Avenue. This resident spoke to CBS 2.
When I seen it, I went to the side of the house and I said, Katie, I called my daughter and I told my husband, jump out the
window. The house is on fire. I jumped over the gate and we just grabbing and catching people.
10 people were taken to area hospitals, including 2 who have serious but fortunately non-life-threatening injuries. So far, no word on the cause of the blaze. A massive bust in the Bronx where police say a pizza place was being used as a front for a drug operation.
Over 100 pounds of cocaine, fentanyl, oxycodone, and heroin were found at the Mozzarella Pizzeria on Soundview Avenue. Angel Despiau grew up around here, and his son goes to school across the street.
Our children are not safe no more. You don't know where you're sending them. You send them for a bag of chips. You don't know what they're going to come home with.
DEA Special Agent in Charge Frank Tarantino calls it reckless abandon.
Traffickers just caring about one thing only, and that's money.
3 people who worked at the pizzeria were arrested. Those drugs are worth $4 million. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Soundview, the Bronx.
October 28th is First Responders Day. Today, the First Responders Children's Foundation will hold a ceremony in Times Square. CEO Jillian Crane.
We are honoring first responders from all branches of public safety, and they are standing, each individual person is standing for their entire profession.
Members of the NYPD and FDNY will be honored, as will Nashville first responders for their heroic actions responding to the Covenant School shooting earlier this year. In addition, official proclamations declaring National First Responders Day from President Biden and the governors from more than 16 states will be on display. That ceremony begins at 10 this morning. Well, we know this is good for the soul, but does it really help with the common cold? We'll tell you what one expert is saying, plus we'll get traffic and weather next on 10 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I love my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. This struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Laborers Local 731 are proud to honor our city workers, our city heroes.
Firefighter Bobby Maloney developed an app that mapped out the more than 110,000 hydrants in New York City. Allows firefighters to see what they need to evacuate and their source. Fire is raging in seconds matter. The app is called Rapid Response, and it has now been adopted by fire departments across the country. Firefighter Bobby Maloney, this week, city worker, city hero.
Laborers Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Local 731 provides qualified and competent laborers to fill the demand that the construction industry not only requires, but deserves. Its members and leadership have fought hard for wages and benefits that open the path to the middle class that every hardworking American deserves. Laborers Local 731. Feel the power.
Twin News Time 9/11, traffic and transit. Here's Russ Ryan.
We'll check in on the FDR first. That's at Rockville, the drivers on the east side. This is what's going on. We're by 63rd Street. We have a stolen vehicle reported a minor incident there, taking out a lane. So we have delays back to the RFK Bridge as a result. We did down 2nd Avenue instead of just go down Parkway and West Side Highway. This is new. The Hutch northbound coming to Pelham Parkway. Left lane is taken out with a crash. And over in New Jersey, northbound lanes at 287, over by Route 208. Oakland, we've got a crash. Involves a dump truck. One lane is taken out. That is snarling traffic. And also Route 46 east coming through Denville. We have some paving work just east of Route 53. And it's causing some major delays. You might want to go with Route 80 instead. Westbound 280 still backed up coming in towards exit 6. That following an earlier vehicle fire. Here's what you need to know about the bridge. It is a tough go into Staten Island. We have the Verrazano Bridge on both levels, but Staten Island bound is okay. Delays into Staten Island as well as the Goethals Bridge, the Bayonne Bridge, and the Outer Bridge crossing. doing okay. The sport is sponsored by Audi Manhattan. Discover the elegance of Audi at the flagship store in Manhattan and experience best-in-class service. And here's a deal just for you. Mention this ad and enjoy free Audi care on all new vehicles. Audi Manhattan, drive the dream. I'm Russ Meyer. Our next report, 9:21. Tintin wins on 92.3 FM.
End of October, more like May. Let's track your weather forecast from FN.
Yeah, really confused on what day it is, what month it is. If you're stepping outside here today, of course, it's a chilly start, but temperatures are going to rebound nicely for today with sunshine. Some clouds, a couple clouds out there right now, but it will turn out mostly sunny. Milder by this afternoon, high 54. Tonight, mostly clear, not nearly as chilly as this morning, low 52, mid-town 40s in most suburbs. Tomorrow, beautiful day, sunshine, a few clouds, high at 70 degrees, and downright gorgeous heading into Thursday and Friday. We're up to 77 degrees on both of those days, and if you just want to sneak peek at the weekend, looks like it'll be warm through at least Saturday, maybe a little bit cooler towards the second half of the weekend, and certainly early next week. Currently, it is 53 degrees in Central Park with relative humidity at 71%, defeating the current 53, heading up to 64 this afternoon in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Matt Vance on New York Weather Station, and I'm Linz on 92.3 FM.
It's been prescribed by moms around the world for centuries, but does chicken soup really help battle a cold or the flu? Colby Tiemann, assistant professor of nutrition at the University of Dayton, has been looking at this. He says yes, because evidence suggests that the taste of chicken soup can help increase one's appetite, which is important, because when most people are sick, they don't want to eat, and so they lose key nutrients. He also says it's inflammatory properties, which can reduce congestion, and it can also reduce gastrointestinal symptoms, which often come with being under the weather. House Republicans to try again today to elect a new Speaker of the House. Last night they heard from the 8 candidates now vying for the job. Republicans emerged from a candidate forum with the hope that the conference will stand behind whoever wins the nomination this time.
All those folks that are wanting to unify, I think our patience is good.
Nebraska's Don Bacon says 3 weeks after Kevin McCarthy's ouster, the party is ready to move on. The man presumed to be the frontrunner is Majority Whip Tom Emmer. Currently holds the number 3 post in the leadership. Emmer's been vilified by Trump supporters, large part for his vote to accept the 2020 election results. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Guess who's heading to the White House? The B-52 to perform at the state dinner for the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. That's coming up tomorrow night. The group had a Las Vegas residency this year following their farewell tour. The Roswell NYC Chorus is for artists. In fact, that is the name of their new fundraiser. 12 singers on the payroll. Executive Director John McCullough.
Can't expect a professional level work without paying adequate professional fees. So what we focus on is making sure that we pay our artists equitable fees.
To give them a living wage and health care. Part of the way they'll raise money is through the sales of a debut album, which they're recording. You can learn more at fourthwallnyc.com. Terrifying moments aboard an Alaska Airlines flight, and an off-duty pilot is blamed. Authorities say Joseph David Emerson was sitting in the jump seat of the cockpit on board a flight from Everett, Washington to San Francisco when he suddenly tried to shut off the engine by pulling an emergency switch. Officials say Emerson had some kind of mental breakdown. He really faces a
over 100 charges. 83 of those are attempted murder charges. So these are very, very serious because remember, we're talking about 80 passengers on board, but you also have 4 crew members on board. So including him, that's 83 charges that are against him right now, and just for attempted murder. He's got reckless endangerment as well. So, I mean, this is very, very serious. Nobody is taking this lightly.
Correspondent Gio Benitez on the ABC Start Here podcast. The on-duty pilots subdued Emerson and made an emergency landing in Portland, Oregon. No injuries were reported. We have partly sunny skies, 50 degrees, the humidity 76%, winds are calm, 50 going up to a mostly sunny 64 in Central Park. Winds News Time 9:17.
Hey, Winds family, if you heat your home with oil, you must hear this message. Larry Mullins here. Low-price home heating oil is now available to 1010 Winds listeners at a fixed price that you can save hundreds of dollars a year on your home heating bill. If you think you're paying too much to heat your home, then pick up your phone and dial 866-OIL-DEAL right now to see how much you, a loyal 1010 Wins listener can save on heating oil. The Home Heating Oil Service Center is staffed 24/7, and mechanics are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure your family is never left in the cold. Just dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL. The heating oil line is now open for 1010 Wins listeners. Think you're paying too much for your home heating oil service? Call the Home Heating Oil line now to see how much you can save on home heating costs this winter. Don't wait. There's no reason to pay too much for home heating oil. You can get the best service, 24-hour mechanics, and a low flat rate for this home heating season guaranteed. So call now. 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me, 40 days up to 40 pounds. That's how much you could lose when you join NJ Diet. Because NJ Diet only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds. With NJ Diet's contractually guaranteed money-back program, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. NJ Diet is 100% tailored to you by using bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep it on for the rest of your life. 40 days up to 40 pounds can be a real thing. Unlike other weight loss systems, NJ Diet is all natural. No shots, no hormones, no pre-packaged foods, and no surgery. With offices throughout New York City, Westchester, Long Island, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania, or live online video consultations. Visit njdiet.com or call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to...
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cashback on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cashback on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? Because everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cashback. It pays to Discover. Eligibility in terms of discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch, we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh, Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
Whether it's on your smart device or the car radio, stay with 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM and stay connected.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. In about 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 50 degrees. It is 9:20 on this Tuesday, October 24th. I'm Susan Richard, and here's what's happening. The highly anticipated face-to-face between Donald Trump and Michael Cohen could happen today in Lower Manhattan. Our one shot coming up. Another migrant shelter closed due to fire code violations. Mayor Adams among those at a vigil to remember the school crossing guard who was struck and killed on the job in Woodhaven, Queens. A suspected shoplifter forced a lockdown at the Green Acres Mall. We'll tell you what happened. And there is good news about Mary Lou Retton. In sports, Texas Rangers go into the World Series. NLCS Diamondbacks and Phillies played their deciding game tonight. Monday Night Football, it was the Vikings over the 49ers. And weather, so good, mostly sunny today, 64 degrees. Great news time at 9:21. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. And what do we see, Russ Meyer?
We got a breakdown now on the Belt Parkway. This is in Brooklyn on the westbound side of the Belt. This is coming into Coney Avenue, Coney Island Avenue, rather. And that is taking out a lane. We have a delay back to Flatbush Avenue as a result. The FDR can't seem to catch a break this morning. We had a stalled vehicle over by 53rd Street for a good chunk of the morning. When that finally was cleared, got a new one now by 63rd. We have the same delay. 130 down Henry Hudson Parkway, Simon Highway, instead of all that Henry Hudson Parkway is getting a bit heavy. Also heavy is the Bronx on the northbound side. The Hutch coming in, Philip side of a crash left, slow up through a wood, but it's actually accidents in that case. So here's what you need to know. Whitestone as well, heading to the way from RFK Bridge. It is really tough going into the Bronx and going into Manhattan, thanks to that Harlem Drive FDR situation. Going into the Queensbound side, however, is doing okay. We have got this report sponsored by Hawthorne Chevrolet. Crossfire next report, 9:31. 10 wins on 93 FM.
Never pay more, never get less at Hawthorne Chevrolet Commercial Truck Center. Choose from the largest selection of commercial trucks, pickups, and more. Chevrolet.
Lower Manhattan, now former president between Trump and Fixer.
For 20.
fragile shit pay the most, nigga.
Ram power days are here at Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
Exceptional people, exceptional deals.
Call 888-906-6111 for details. MSRP $51,960, bid PN 696-218. Excludes tax, title, and registration. Zero security deposit, 2.9% financing at $15.15 per month for $1,000 finance. Offer ends 10/31/23.
Britney Spears' new book is out today. The Woman in Me hits the store shelves in the online world for all to read. All while Britney keeps racking up those traffic fines. Word is she was pulled over earlier this month for crossing over double yellow lines. She was fined $327 last month. She was able to drive without possession of her license and insurance card. Today, I'm going to tell all of her right to prove one ticket you've all heard about. Her abortion while dating Justin Timberlake back in the early 2000s. What's news time? 9:30 now.
During the pandemic, approximately 16,000 New York State residents living in long-term care facilities died of COVID. Many family members of these
Pass this line. Then press the right button. Turn right. Then turn right. At the stop sign, turn right onto Newport. Then turn left onto State Route 109 West.
COVID in these nursing homes. If you or someone you know contracted COVID in a nursing home, call Jeff Guzman and his team at 212-227-2900. The KG Law Team will let you know if you are entitled to potential compensation. Jeff Guzman said the nursing homes were not prepared to take in COVID-positive patients, but they did it anyway, putting their own financial gain over the health of their residents. Call Jeff Guzman and the experts of the KG Law Team to see if you are entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, call Jeff Guzman at 212-227-2900. That's 212-227-2900. Or visit them at kglawteam.com.
Hey, how about this? If you have a small business, go to 1010wins.com/challenge. We can reward you with $10,000. That's 1010wins.com/challenge. The news watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. Good morning, it's 53 degrees. We've got sunshine at 9:40 on this Tuesday, October 24th. I'm Scott Stanford. Here's what's happening. Former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen in court today testifying in the former president's fraud trial. Donald show up for a showdown. Hamas releasing 2 more hostages from Gaza yesterday, while President Biden weighs in on his thoughts on a ceasefire. A pizza place in the Bronx selling more than just Parmesan cheese with its slices. DEA with a huge drug bust. Lather, rinse, and repeat on the Speaker of the House voting. Republicans go secret ballot today to nominate a new candidate.
I'm thinking zombies. What? You know, the undead. Ghouls.
A zombie apocalypse? That is the Big Apple rank for surviving one. Oh yeah, there's a study. There's people working on this one. Checking sports, Texas Rangers will make up 1/2 of the World Series. They knock off the Astros in 7. Game 7 tonight for the Phillies and D-backs. AccuWeather, like I mentioned, beautiful day, mostly sunny. High in the mid-60s. Got a beautiful week straight ahead. Wins news time, 9:41. We get you back out to the roads. I'm sure it's beautiful on the commute this morning, Russ Meyer.
Sure. We have got a few lingering issues, to say the least, as we start to emerge from that morning rush. Things are backed up at the FDR, southbound from 135th, all the way down to 63rd Street, following a stalled vehicle in that area. Also, the road second habit is actually not too bad if you want to just do that instead, and ending up in Parkway at West Side Alley, doing all right. Another option for you. Now we are looking at some big backups on the LI Queens, coming pretty much from Grand Avenue all the way up to Queens Midtown. Tunnel delays farther west is kind of busy. The Grand Central actually doing quite nicely. The westbound side of the Parkway by Coney Island Avenue and its stalled vehicle we no longer do. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels of the Lower East River. Jam going into the Manhattan Williamsburg Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge is okay. I mean, the Manhattan Bridge is pretty light those ways. The Brooklyn Battery Tunnel has delays going into Manhattan, but going into Brooklyn, you should be okay. I'm Russ Meyer, next report 9:51. 10 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Boy, I love to be a fly on the wall in the courtroom today. Former Trump lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen in the hot seat, expected to testify in the former president's fraud trial.
Donald Trump is expected to be there to look Mr. Cohen in the eye.
Certainly expect stare downs and maybe some words between Michael Cohen and Donald Trump. It will be the first time in 5 years that they'll be in the same room. Cohen once said he would take a bullet for Trump, and for more than a decade that he worked for him. Now he's the key witness in the prosecution's claim that the Trump organization inflated the value of their assets, basically fraud. Here's part of Cohen's deposition in the case.
Cohen was the task with taking the assets, increasing each of those asset classes in order to accommodate that $8 billion number.
They mentioned Alan Weisselberg, the one-time chief financial officer of the Trump organization who served 4 months in prison earlier this year. Now, Cohen spent a year in prison himself from 2019 to 2020. In fact, remained under house arrest until the end of 2021.
When News by Guys New Jersey's U.S. Senator Bob Menendez in Manhattan federal court yesterday, prosecutors accusing Menendez of violating a prohibition on members of Congress from acting as a foreign agent.
Senator Bob Menendez pleaded not guilty to a new charge brought by federal prosecutors here in New York that accuses him of conspiring with his wife and others to act as an agent of Egypt. And it happened, prosecutors say, while he was chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Menendez has had to give up that post after he was charged last month with 3 counts. The new charge exposes him to the possibility of 5 additional years in prison if he's convicted.
Correspondent Aaron Kaspersky, Menendez's wife, and the New Jersey businessman accused of conspiring with the senator have all pleaded not guilty to those same charges last week. Hamas releasing 2 elderly hostages yesterday. The 2 women were kidnapped from their homes along with their husbands. The husbands are still being held. Now, the 2 women were transferred from Gaza to Egypt, and Hamas says they released the 2 hostages on quote-unquote humanitarian grounds. Israeli government minister Anahai Chikli sees the release as a manipulation by the terrorist group looking to fool the international community.
As long as we have children, babies, innocent civilians kidnapped by Hamas terrorists, there's nothing to discuss, and there is nothing that is related to humanitarian thoughts that they have.
As far as a possible ceasefire in the Middle East, the president says not so fast.
At an economics event at the White House, President Biden was asked again if he supported a ceasefire deal. He said first, hostages need to be released, and then we can talk. He also says he spoke with Pope Francis.
I laid out to what the game plan was, how we thought we should be provided the kind of assistance Israel would need.
He said the Pope was across the board supportive.
That's Stacey Lynn reporting. And how about that humanitarian aid? Most aid organizations say the number of trucks going into Gaza not even close to enough to handle the crisis inside the Strip. Pressure is growing on the White House to do more.
20 additional trucks carrying food and medical supplies crossed from Egypt into Gaza Monday. U.S. hopes more will be let in.
I think over the coming days you're going to continue to see convoys of trucks. But it's also fuel.
Security spokesman John Kirby saying Palestinians need fuel to power hospital generators and desalination plants to make seawater drinkable.
Correspondent Andy Field. Meanwhile, the Pentagon says it sent military advisors, including a Marine Corps general who specializes in urban warfare, to Israel ahead of an anticipated ground attack on Gaza. All of this, by the way, happening on the 40th anniversary of one of the deadliest attacks on the U.S. troops in the Middle East. We go back to October 1983. A suicide bomber hit an American military barracks at the Beirut International Airport, killing 241 U.S. servicemen. A Hezbollah supporter posted a video on TikTok last week saying it seems the commanders of these war troops and aircraft carriers what happened back on October 23rd of 1983. Referring to President Biden and the parallel between the Reduced on 947, a pizza joint in Bronx serving up much more than pepperoni with those pies. Authorities say this drug bust put the kibosh on what could have been a much larger operation.
Angel Despiao's son goes to school across the street from the Mexarella Pizzeria on Southview Avenue.
It really disturbs me that he's this close to it.
This close to fentanyl, cocaine, and heroin, which is being sold.
breakfast at 9 o'clock.
It's too early, I know.
They're lazy. They're lazy.
At least 12 o'clock, you know?
No, say 10:30.
11, McDonald's at 11, yeah.
But I think they're lazy.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah, they don't want to do it. Yeah. Good morning, man.
Simplified at the Rally Motor Company. Bank of America is the proud employer of over 210,000 teammates who go above and beyond to support their clients' financial goals. Like Emily, who helps clients create a plan to build the future they want, like a wedding, having kids, or retirement. All real achievements her clients have shared photos of. For all your financial goals, we're here to listen and help. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/about. Bank of America NA, member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
Bloomberg Money Watch now. What do you say, Steve Potus?
Well, Scott, people have had good reason not to return to the office. The CEO of Blackstone says it's because people don't work as hard at home, no matter what they tell you. Now, Blackstone is one of the owners of commercial property, and he says people also save money not having to commute or buy lunch and work clothes.
Fucking wake up!
Citigroup CEO says all aspects of security, food security, energy, defense, or financial security are all part of the calculations now after the Hamas attack. She says it's hard not to be a little pessimistic, and that pessimism is shared by other Wall Street bankers about the outlook for the global economy next year. But not too much pessimism right now. The Dow is higher, 236 points. Nasdaq adding 91, S&P in the plus column now 28 points. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Steve Potus for 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Today, LifeVac, the only proven airway clearance device, has saved more than 1,300 lives. Arthur Lee is the inventor and CEO of LifeVac.
When my daughter was 7 years old, I heard of another 7-year-old that had lost their life to choking. The heartbreak and the pain that those parents experienced. I knew I needed, as her father, to be able to protect her, and I needed to come up with a way to save her life in a choking emergency.
LifeVac is the original simple rescue device that can save someone in a choking emergency. It's as easy as place, push, pull.
Some products have been substituted out, but they were complicated and scary too.
Use the right lane to take a slippery turn.
JFK Bridge. We got Bronx-bound delays, and we have Manhattan-bound delays, and I will tell you why. It's because of an earlier stalled vehicle on the southbound side of the FDR by 63rd Street. That is still snarling traffic back to around 135th Street, but that should start to ease out. Looks like that's out of the way. Also, tough go on the LI in Queens. Let's check in on the eastbound delays from Utopia Parkway out towards around the Cross Island Parkway. Westbound, you're going to hit slowdowns from Grand Avenue after the Queens Midtown Tunnel. So the Grand Central's overall looking a lot better for you. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three, and nothing of note for the LIE traffic on the northern state and southern state. You're doing all right. I'm Russ Meyer, next report 10-11. 10-10 wins on 92.3 FM.
Have you tried everything you can think of to find relief from foot pain? The Good Feet store has helped countless people who didn't find any relief from expensive shoes, cushions, or even shop. You can find the nearest Good Feet store to you at goodfeet.com.
Police continue to search for the 13-year-old boy who they say disappeared into the East River on Friday. Our Glenn Shuck spoke to the boy's family. He joins us now live with the story. Glenn.
And very emotional, obviously, the conversation. The family of Kevion Brown believed it was either a dare, Linda, or peer pressure that led the 13-year-old to jump into the East River here by East 6th Street Friday afternoon. I spoke with his great aunt, Elena Godfrey. She took a minute from her job at a nursing home in Midtown to talk to us, speaking for their family about their anguish and what they're going through here. They just want some closure.
I'm saying, what happened to this kid? What really happened to this kid? You know, it's sad that what happened, but my thing is, you have kids out here that doing insane things like, oh, I dare you, or these challenges and stuff. They need to get to the bottom of it.
Godfrey and other family members have been spending time by the water's edge as that search continues. They cling to hope, Linda. They say they can't sleep, eat, or work until Kevion is found. Again, Kevion Brown missing now nearly 4 days. Glenn Shuck, 10-10 wins on 92.3 FM, live here near the East River.
Just heartbreaking for that family. And police are looking for the group of 3 to 4 men who stole 3 mini school buses from a parking lot in the Bronx overnight. The group apparently broke into the locked parking lot on Blondell Avenue in the Moores Park section, then drove the buses through the gate to escape. It's unclear what they wanted the buses for. Third time yesterday, a jury was deadlocked and could not reach a verdict on whether Drago was criminally responsible for the death of Evelyn Rodriguez in 2018. Drago, prosecutors say, removed a memorial of flowers and photos in front of her mother's house in Brentwood that was being sold. Rodriguez placed the memorial there in honor of her daughter, whose body was found at that location after being murdered by gang members. Drago says she accidentally ran Rodriguez over when the two were arguing about the memorial. Drago's first trial ended in a conviction. However, it was thrown out because of misconduct by prosecutors. Rodriguez made national headlines a few months before she died because she met with then-President Trump to speak about gang violence. Sophia Hall, 10-10 wins on 92.3 FM in Suffolk County, Long Island. Suffolk County, a man who once said he'd take a bullet for Donald Trump is now set to testify against him at the Trump civil fraud trial in Lower Manhattan today. And Donald Trump may be in the courtroom today, so that could mean a face-to-face between the former president and his former fixer, Michael Cohen. Cohen is the star witness against Trump in the civil fraud trial. He's expected to testify today that Trump and the Trump Organization inflated the value of his properties and his net worth. It's the first time in 5 years Trump and Cohen will be in the same room together. A new Siena poll is not good news for President Biden. For the first time, he has a negative approval rating with New Yorkers in the Siena College poll. Siena pollster Stephen Greenberg spoke to 10-10 Wins.
Right now, his favorability rating is 45 favorable, 52 unfavorable. Last month, he was 50% favorable, 45% unfavorable, a net 12-point negative movement. It is the worst favorability rating Biden has ever had in a Siena College poll.
The poll also showed that New Yorkers approve of supporting the wars in Ukraine and Israel. 51% of New Yorkers support aid for Ukraine. 57% say they support aid for Israel. And one of the 2 Israeli hostages just freed by Hamas yesterday is speaking out about her captivity. 85-year-old Yocheved Lifshitz is Speaking from the hospital in Tel Aviv, where she's being treated after being released by Hamas. Her daughter Sharon translating for her.
This is wonderful. But our heart is with the over 200 hostages still there.
79-year-old Nurit Cooper was also released, but their husbands are still being held hostage in Gaza. And today, French President Emmanuel Macron is in Israel.
His first meeting in Israel was with the families of Franco-Israelis taken hostage by Hamas. One mother of 2 hostages said Macron gave her lots of hope and promised to fight to get their loved ones released. Macron also met with Netanyahu and told him the fight against terrorism must be without mercy, but not without rules.
Correspondent Elaine Cobb reporting. The 92nd Street Y, now known as 92NY, has put its prestigious literary reading series on pause after the outcry caused last week over its decision to cancel an appearance by a prominent writer who had been critical of Israel. The Y decided to pull an event featuring Pulitzer Prize-winning novelist Viet Thanh Nguyen, who had planned to discuss his memoir, because of Nguyen's public statements about Israel. That led to other writers pulling themselves out of events with 92NY, and even led some staff members to resign. The Y now says that 23-24 literary series is on pause, given the recent resignations. A federal trial is set to begin today in Los Angeles for the captain of a scuba boat that caught fire and sank near Santa Barbara in 2019, killing 34 people. It's been 4 long years since the Labor Day accident in 2019 for family members of the victims. They've been seeking justice, working to get maritime laws changed, and to hold the boat's captain accountable. Jerry Boylan's trial begins today with jury selection. The National Transportation Safety Board says his failure to post a night watchman allowed a fire to quickly spread on board. He has pleaded not guilty to 1 count of misconduct or neglect of ship officer. That's correspondent Wendy Gillette. Wins News Time, 10:09.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTRCM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
A psoriasis flare-up can make a walk in the park, well, no walk in the park.
It's that obvious, huh? I've tried so many lotions and creams, but I still have symptoms.
So those don't do enough to treat the inflammation beneath the skin, leaving you with those uncontrolled symptoms.
Makes sense, but what else can I do?
You can get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Make an appointment and, you're already on it.
Hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment.
Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by Happy.
Across New York, our neighbors are talking about the smart plan for people with Medicare and Medicaid. It's health plans from BNS Health Medicare, designed to fit your needs right now and in the future. Up to $266 a month for OTC health and grocery items. And get up to an additional $760 a year for essential monthly home utilities and more. Make the smart move. Call BNS Health Medicare. 1-866-414-6715. That's 1-866-414-6715. Benefits and costs depend on your LIS or Medicaid eligibility and the plan you enroll in. Grocery and utility benefits are part of a special supplemental program for the chronically ill, and not all members qualify. Other types of goods and services not eligible. BNS Health Medicare is a Medicare Advantage organization with Medicare and Medicaid contracts, offering HMO D-SNP and HMO plans. Enrollment in BNS Health Medicare depends on contract renewal.
Wins News Time, 10:11. Time for traffic and transit on the ones. And Russ Meyer.
Hey, Linda, we'll check out on the drive in the Bronx, and the westbound side of the Cross Bronx, tied up, coming pretty much from Westchester Avenue all the way out to the Deegan, the eastbound side, just a bit sluggish between the Deegan and Jerome Avenue. That following an earlier accident there. Now, on the Deegan, it's going to be tied up a little bit northbound, coming up towards around Gun Hill Road. That is midday construction. Southbound's going to slow you down again, approaching the Cross Bronx. It's also heavy in both directions between the RFK Bridge and 130th 38th Street. On the northbound side of the Bruckner, you're also stuck from the Bruckner interchange up towards Pelham Parkway, the New England Thruway. Beyond that point, not too bad. And the Hutch actually doing pretty well. In fact, through Westchester, both the Hutch and the New England Thruway are moving along without incident. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. To check out the Hudson River crossing is showing about 30-35 minutes for the inbound side of the GWB, both the upper and lower levels. Lincoln Tunnel's down to about 20-25 minutes. And traffic over at the Holland Tunnel, that's again around about a 30-minute delay. This report is sponsored by Jackpocket. Jackpocket, the #1 lottery app, lets you order official state lottery games on your phone. Use code RADIO for a free Mega Millions or Powerball ticket. 18 or older. Gambling problem? In New York, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. See jackpocket.com/TOS for terms. I'm Russ Meyer. Our next report is at 10:21. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
And let's get a check of our 1010 winds AccuWeather forecast. I don't think we've got too many complaints about the weather this week, Matt Ben.
Yeah, looking really good here for this week. In fact, it's going to stick around right into the start of the weekend. And at this point, I think we deserve at least one good weekend here across the tri-state. Is that asking for so much? Well, we'll see how it turns out. But for the rest of today, sunshine, some clouds at times. So it looks like we'll turn out just mostly sunny here for the remainder of the day. Becoming milder here for this afternoon with a high 64. Tonight, clear skies, low 52 here in the city. 40s in many suburbs, so still cool enough that you'll need that jacket out the door in the morning, but you can shed it quickly. Pleasant for tomorrow, sunshine with some clouds at times through the afternoon. High 70 degrees, and we really crank up the warmth heading into Thursday and Friday with a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures both days up to 77, and like I mentioned, it looks like this could stick around into at least the start of the weekend. Currently, it is 55 degrees in Central Park with a relative humidity at 66%. Repeating, the current temperature is 55, heading up to 64 this afternoon in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Matt Benz on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
And coming up on 1010 Winds. We don't know if there will be rock lobster, but we know there will be cool entertainment at the next White House State Dinner. That's next. 1010 Winds and Laborers Local 731 are proud to honor our city workers who are city heroes. Firefighter Bobby Bonomi developed an app that maps out the more than 110,000 hydrants in New York City. It allows firefighters to pinpoint the exact location of the nearest water source when a fire is raging and seconds matter. The app is called Rapid Response, and it has now been adopted by fire departments across the country. Firefighter Bobby Bonomi, this week's city worker, city hero.
Laborers Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Local 731 provides qualified and competent laborers to fill the demand that the construction industry not only requires, but deserves. Its members and leadership have fought hard for wages and benefits that open the path to the middle class that every hardworking American deserves. Laborers Local 731. Feel the power.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Everybody's choosy about something. It might be your favorite snack.
2 scoops of Rocky Road, please.
Your style. Those earrings look amazing on you. Or the things you like to do with your best friend. You could be choosy when it comes to getting a COVID-19 vaccine, too. If you're thinking about getting an updated vaccine, there's more than one type available. You can find out more at WeDoVaccines.com. This message was brought to you by Novavax.
Winds News Time, 10:15. The B-52s will be performing at the White House State Dinner for Australia's Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese. The White House confirmed a report today that they will be performing. The group is apparently still going strong after first forming in 1976. They had this year following a farewell tour. A 21-year-old dog in Portugal that had been ranked as the world's oldest dog ever has died. Bobby lived on a farm in Portugal with his cats. Bobby went, and he said the secret to the doggy's long life was good food, fresh air, and lots of love. New research looks at the differences in the length unvaccinated children remain infectious for COVID-19.
Policies that keep students with COVID-19 are more than sufficient. Their study found the median time a child is infectious after testing positive is just 3 days, while 18% of children are still infectious on day 5. They also found no difference between how long vaccinated and unvaccinated children remained infectious.
That's correspondent Christian Benavides. Hundreds of photos from Sir Elton John's collection, his private collection, will go on display in a London museum. John and his husband, David Furnish, have collected works from over 140 photographers, including Robert Mapplethorpe. 300 of those will hang in the Victoria and Albert Museum. The works date back to the 1950s and include portraits of stars like Marilyn Monroe and Miles Davis. And the museum says the exhibit will be a truly epic journey across photography's recent history. John said he started collecting photographs after getting sober in the 1990s. Good news today about Mary Lou Retton after being hospitalized for pneumonia. Her family says she is now home from the hospital.
Mary Lou Retton spent nearly 2 weeks in intensive care, unable to breathe on her own. The gymnast was nicknamed America's Sweetheart after her performance in the 1984 Olympic Games. And when her family revealed she was uninsured, the outpouring of support made it clear she retains that title. In fact, a fundraising page set up by the family to cover her hospital bills raised some $460,000 in donations. One of her daughters posted on social media, "We still have a long road of recovery ahead of us, but baby steps."
Correspondent Linda Kenyon. Filling up your car is getting a little bit cheaper.
The switch to cheaper winter blends of gas, lower oil prices, and less demand to travel in October all keep combining to create lower gas prices. The national average is now $3.53 a gallon, according to new data from the Energy Department. That's 24 cents cheaper than the price of regular unleaded a year ago at this time. California still has the most expensive gas at $5.22 a gallon, but that seems cheap compared to a few weeks ago when much of California was paying close to $7 a gallon, and analysts say prices will likely keep going down. Alex Stone, ABC News.
A Washington state senator was arrested in Hong Kong for carrying a gun that wasn't registered. Jeff Wilson, a Republican from Washington state who was traveling with his wife for a 5-week vacation in Southeast Asia, was detained at the airport in Hong Kong because he hadn't registered his gun there. Wilson saying it was an honest mistake and he expects the situation to be resolved shortly. He was released on bail yesterday. Well, if you own a small business, we have $10,000 to help your business grow. Find out more at 1010wins.com/challenge. That's 1010wins.com/challenge.
All the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. 55 degrees and sunny in Manhattan at 10:20. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. The search continues for the 13-year-old boy who police say disappeared into the East River on Friday. A suspect in last year's rash of drugging and robberies of victims they picked up from gay bars in Manhattan that left 2 men dead has pleaded guilty. Police are looking for the person responsible for shooting a man last night in Crown Heights. The off-duty pilot accused of trying to shut down the engines of a plane during a flight yesterday will be in court. And Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer has hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 4 years after it was released. 1010 Winds AccuWeather, a sunny, beautiful day on tap today. It'll get a little milder this afternoon, but we'll get to a high of 64 degrees in the city. Winds News Time, 10:21. It's time for traffic and transit on the 110. How are we doing, Russ Meyer?
We're doing a little better all around town as we emerge from a quite heavy morning commute, but we still have some issues, and we have some new issues as well. Over on the LIE eastbound side, looking at a top beginning at around Utopia Parkway and extending out towards around Springfield Boulevard westbound. Delays from Little Lake Parkway on out towards the Clearview. Getting a report of an accident in that area. Also, construction cones have been plopped down on the Grand Central Parkway. The westbound side has delays from around the Clearview in towards Utopia Parkway, but beyond that, The Grand Central actually opens up and moves well all the way to the RFK Bridge. Now, let's talk about the Upper East River. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. At the Queensbound side of the Throgs Neck Bridge, we have a delay as a result of a stall being clear. It's just past, it's right around as you enter the span. Also, the Queensbound Whitestone going to be heavy but moving. Now, we still have delays on the Bronxbound approach to the Whitestone Bridge coming from Whitestone Expressway. The RFK Bridge, that is tied up going into Manhattan as a result of an earlier disabled vehicle on the southbound side of the FDR over by 60.
Yeah, I got a delivery on SKP. It says 3, but there's like 6. It's kind of like a big sign in the box. No problem.
Hollywood studio executives back on talking terms. They'll meet today to try and hammer out a contract nearly 2 weeks after studios walked away.
They're taking their seats around the negotiating table again today as talks resume between the Hollywood actors and studios. Sources tell ABC News that AI will be a focus and has been one of the main sticking points in talks so far. The mood on the strike lines, cautiously optimistic, with an emphasis on the cautious. Talks were held for almost 2 weeks recently before the studios abruptly broke them off. Over the weekend, the strike crossed the 100-day mark, the longest actor strike ever.
Correspondent Jason Nathanson. Tens of thousands of women will go on strike in Iceland, including the Prime Minister. The one-day strike today, an effort to highlight the ongoing gender pay gap and gender-based violence in that country. The Women's Day Off, as it's called, will be the 7th time women in Iceland have stopped working because of gender inequality. Back in 1975, nearly 90% of women in Iceland took part in that demonstration. Iceland has been ranked the best country in the world for women by the World Economic Forum 14 years in a row. Despite that, organizers say there is more. Neighbors in one Long Island community, they decided to do more for one another, and that involved a lot of kidneys. As Sophia Hall explains.
It began with 15-year-old Julia from West Islip. She desperately needed a kidney. Lisa Calla, whose son was attending the same school, found out and immediately wanted to help.
We look forward to share your spare because we truly only need one.
Then Calla's husband donated to a stranger. A friend in Westchester County also donated. Then Julia's parents donated to people they also did not know. If you're losing count, that's 5 people who donated. Julia's mother, Shannon Mulroy, tells me.
There is absolutely no change whatsoever in my health.
Rob Modica also shared his spare.
But the only regret I have, honestly, is that I didn't have another one to donate.
Rob told another person that person donated to a friend. 6 of the 7 people live right here in western Suffolk County. Sophia Hall, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in Suffolk County, Long Island.
All across the country, organ donation rates are low in the black community. And one reason for that is doctors. There are few in the transplant field who are minorities. To try and change that, HBCUs are getting more hands-on.
That's a long-standing issue, and definitely a disparity in how transplants are related to. And it's kind of a multifaceted problem. There are not enough African Americans or minorities who are transplant survivors.
And Dr. James Eldred, the president of Merck Carey Medical College in Nashville, started a program alongside Tennessee Donor Services that lets medical students with minority medical students shadow the donor agency from beginning to end. The more they can be part of the process, they say, the more people may be willing to donate. Wins News Time, 10:36.
Cars for Kids. Never worry about dealing with your old car again. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS today or donate online at carsforkids.org for next day pickup. That's cars with a K.
If you like using debit over credit, don't you think it's time you also get rewarded with Discover Cashback Debit? Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover.
Did you know grass goes bad in as little as 30 days? Bad gas can cause rough starts, poor performance, or no starts at all. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Whether it's your car, truck, boat, lawnmower, leaf blower, weed trimmer, ATV, motorcycle, or anything else, when you store, start with Stable.
Compassion. Especially in today's world, the need for a very special kind of compassion becomes especially poignant within the tenets of the Jewish tradition and Jewish funeral service. Riverside Memorial Chapel, the largest source of Jewish funeral professionals in the New York area, has set the standard for a very special kind of compassion and trust since 1897. For generations, leaders from Charles Rosenthal to Charles Sullivan have practiced their beliefs that Jewish funeral service is not merely a business, but a solemn trust to the families they serve. Compassion is the most important word, and the understanding of the true meaning of the word compassion as it relates to individual needs. The Riverside Memorial Chapel, a source of support for the Jewish people since 1897. Call 2-6600 or visit riversidememorialchapel.com.
Wins News Time, 10:38. Time for 1010 Wins Entertainment News. Taylor Swift back on top. Cool Summer. Now the #1 song on Billboard's Hot 100 4 years after the song was initially released.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for making Cruel Summer Hot 100 #1, and it's not even summer anymore.
It really means the world.
Speak all. I'm wearing a sweater.
I'm worth it, speak up.
We love you guys.
Taylor and her co-writer Jack Antoff with that message on Instagram. Taylor used the song Cruel Summer to start her shows on the Eras Tour, which is part of the recent popularity for the song. 21 years ago, Britney Spears auditioned for The Notebook. That tape has now been released by the Daily Mail. You can hear the singer sobbing as she reads her lines. She lost the part ultimately to Rachel McAdams. There's been lots of attention surrounding the pop singer because of her memoir, The Woman in Me, which is out today. Wins News Time, 10:39.
If you or a loved one has been a victim of nursing home abuse, call the law offices of Kelly Grossman and Kerrigan at 1-800-ELDERLY. If you believe that you or someone you love has experienced bed sores, falls, fractures, or other abuse or health problems as a result of inattention while being cared for in a nursing home or residential facility, call 1-800-ELDERLY. Kelly Grossman and Kerrigan are experienced trial attorneys who are assisted by a legal team including medical experts experienced in nursing home neglect and abuse. The Kelly Grossman Kerrigan team helped.
Hey, what's up, bro? I just finished it. I'm over here on Merrick Road over here. I was gonna go put some more gas in. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. By the trestle, right? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. You say, George. Alright, it's the first spot on the right. Alright, and it should be 2 buildings, right? So yeah, I'm gonna throw some gas in here. I'm gonna start heading there. There's probably no traffic right now. Yeah, so I'll let you know once I'm like over there and they got the car delivered and stuff. Yeah, if you could do it, right? Alright, I'll confirm that with you after I get there. It was gonna take like 2-3 hours, right? Oh yeah? Alright, cool. Hopefully it's the same video. Yeah, it's slow, everybody. Yeah. Alright, I'll get you up as soon as I get them. We'll just gas it up and we'll start heading there. Alright, that's what you do. Later. Unfortunately, my brother goes to that synagogue. Can't lock me up. Just how I like it. Nice and empty. Eat my food and burn one the fuck down. My day is over. This, man. They gave me the fucking wrong bun or the wrong burger, nigga. Got no appetite. Gotta burn one down. They gave me the fucking wrong bun or the wrong burger, nigga. Got no appetite. tastes horrible, nigga. Where the bud at? Pass the bud. Ability.
you ever wanted to get your concealed?
Their first slip map?
Technicians. If repeated and if read, they will help you. Number 2, Surah Al-Fatiha. These are verses of the Quran. How powerful they have in pure. Tell me.
Cool. God, man, struggling to eat this. I can't eat the other one.